Hey everybody, welcome to the 414. My name is Rusty, and today we are going to be talking about the WWE fourth quarter earnings report, a GM from the past with some serious medical issues, all that along with Elimination Chamber predictions and this day in wrestling history on the 414.
To the last defender.
All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the 414. As you can see, we've made some changes here. We are a sports program now. This is the way it's going to be. Welcome to Studio 414. I can't get any clearer than that. This is the studio. You're going to see it every pay-per-view review, every SmackDown review, every Raw review, every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, along with any other programming that might show up on this channel. It's going to come to you from Studio 414, and that's the way it's going to be from now on. I've been wanting to do this for a while. This is the way it's going to go for me. So you're going to see this. You see me suit and tie, doing the thing, shirt, shaved up, shaved my head, got it going. It's going to be all good. So we're going to bring you this sports program. We're going to have a lot of fun along the way, and today we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. There was a fourth quarter earnings report out from the WWE, and they had a lot of stuff to talk about there. One of them was that the WWE Network subscribers, I'm reading this off right now, the WWE Network subscribers increased 14% from the fourth quarter of 2015 to 1.41 million average paid subscribers over the fourth quarter in 2016. That is huge. That's a big bump. 1.4 million is a big number on there, and a 14% bump from the year before is pretty good. They also premiered new original content across many platforms, including Total Bellas, the Bella Twins, 205 Live, WWE Storytime. That all came out fourth quarter, along with the announcement of the UK Championship, which we saw in January. They also announced that Snickers is going to be the exclusive partner of WrestleMania at this. It's going to be held, of course, in Orlando at the Citrus Bowl on April 2nd. And also, we got a lot of highlights coming in here for WWE. They increased their revenue by 11% last year to $729.2 million, the highest in the company's history. That includes record levels of revenue from the WWE Network, television from the USA, live events, venue merchandise, and WWE.com shop segments. Total international revenue increased by 11% as well to a record $189.3 million. They're doing good. They're actually, we think that they're doing bad as far as revenue, and things are going wrong, and we see the ratings, and the ratings are tanking. It hasn't hit their bottom line yet. So it seems that they can do no wrong. Now, along with that, Vince McMahon also did talk about the brand split in the fourth quarter earnings call, and he said that the split has been working out extremely well. We all thought that this has not been a good thing for Monday Night Raw. It's been great for SmackDown. He did explain that there are a lot of crossover viewers, sorry guys, to the SmackDown brand from Monday Night Raw, and that's something they've been trying to do for a while. They've been trying to boost the ratings on SmackDown, and we can see it week after week where the show is getting continually better. People are starting to see that it's a really good show every Tuesday night, and they're coming out to it. He also talked about switching talent from one brand to another, and he used Roman Reigns as a potential example of someone jumping ship to SmackDown. So we might see a Roman Reigns jump from Raw to SmackDown sooner than later. Who knows if it's actually going to happen, but he used it as an example. He did talk about the fact that it's hard right now to create new stars with just one show, and the brand split is allowing others to climb the ladder with a lot of success. So it's good to hear that they've got things planned in store for the WWE, not just for SmackDown, but for Raw as well. And things are actually going really well for them with the WWE Network, the E Network. They've got stuff going there. They've got YouTube stuff going on right now with the Bella Twins, and revenue is higher than ever right now. So it's good to hear that that is going on. Let's talk a little bit about a former GM who is having some health issues. You guys might know or might not know, depending upon how new you are to WWE, the name Mike Adamle. A lot of people go into fits of, convulsions when they hear the name Mike Adamle, because a lot of people thought he was a horrible general manager and should have never been on the microphone within there. We have some insight as to why that might be now. He has been diagnosed with dementia and likely severe CTE. This is a big thing with the WWE. Reasons why they won't let Daniel Bryan come back to the ring. Reasons why Corey Graves is not in the ring. They are severely wary of putting somebody with concussion issues into the ring and get them going again. NBC Chicago has revealed that Mike Adamle has been diagnosed with dementia and likely has severe CTE, and he has been suffering from epilepsy for 19 years, and doctors believe that he has symptoms of CTE due to brain injuries suffered from his days in the NFL. If you guys don't know, he played in the NFL. A lot of really good shots you can see of him even playing in college. You look at that film from NBC Chicago, and they're showing shots of him where his helmet fell off and he didn't care and he went after people. Mike Adamle was great on the field that way. He said he's been on short-term disability and then long-term disability. He's had seizures and epilepsy for the last 19 years and said he can no longer work, and the diagnosis is the reason why he's been off the air for over a year. He hasn't been doing anything. He was an anchor on the local NBC channel in Chicago up until about a year ago. Adamle was asked how long and how many concussions he's had during his football days, and he says he cannot put a number on it at all. He's had multiple. He has no idea how many concussions he's had. There's plays he doesn't even remember. Reporters would ask him, hey, do you remember that touchdown? He goes, what touchdown? Things like that. It's shocking to see him, really going through what he's going through. Along with WWE, Adamle worked, as I said, for NBC Sports. He was a lead announcer on American Gladiators, and he was also on the broadcast team for the XFL in 2001. But I want to say, I hope Mike Adamle, nothing but the best. This is something that I've seen. I've seen dementia hit people in my family, and it's never a pretty thing to have to go through. So for Mike Adamle and his family, I hope things go well. I hope that everything that comes your way is not bad, and hopefully they find some cures to things like this and CTE, and they can start doing a lot of really good stem cell research and things like that. Let's move on to what we want to talk about this week, and that's the Elimination Chamber. The Elimination Chamber is live this Sunday in Arizona, February 12th, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We got the Elimination Chamber, and there's a lot of really good matches. We're going to go down our list of matches right now. The first one being, we've got Dolph Ziggler and Kalisto and Apollo Crews. We've got a 2-on-1 handicap match going on here. This was booked on Thursday. This will most likely be our pre-show match. They've even got it listed at the bottom of the stack over at WWE.com in the Elimination Chamber page right now. It is the last one. Right now, Dolph Ziggler, total heel. Love what he's doing. It's great. He is the loser right now within the WWE, losing like crazy. And Dolph Ziggler himself is really on a roll, I think. I think this is a great role for him right now. He's putting Kalisto over. He's putting Apollo Crews over. He's doing what Dolph Ziggler does best. And we get to see him in a 2-on-1 handicap match. I'm not sure if we see Apollo Crews and Kalisto come out with a win on this one. Well, if they get a win, it's going to be by DQ. Dolph is going to snap during this program on Sunday night. It's going to be a great pre-show match. We're going to see probably a chair get introduced. That's been his go-to weapon of choice as of lately, pulling a page out of Baron Corbin's book and swatting Kalisto like a fly as he goes flying through the air with a chair. So we're gonna see a lot of good stuff coming here from Dolph Ziggler, Apollo Crews, and Kalisto. It's nice to see them using talent going into this, talent that we normally don't see on television. They're getting some TV time. They're getting a storyline. They're finally getting over. It's good to see that we've got guys like Dolph Ziggler willing to put other guys like Kalisto and Apollo Crews in some good stuff. The next match that we've got coming in hot. The first of 3 women's matches. Why did I give you guys that one? That's not the one I want. We want Becky Lynch, and of course Mickie James. Mickie James had a quick match with Asuka not too long ago, over right before Survivor Series at TakeOver. And Mickie James has come back. She has come back with a vengeance, and it is awesome to see. She's taking on Becky Lynch this Sunday at Elimination Chamber, and she says that she laid the foundation for the women's revolution, and people like Becky Lynch just do not have what it takes and need to not lay claim to the women's revolution, because Mickie James is the reason for it. I guess she forgot about Trish Stratus, Lita, the Glamazon, Beth Phoenix, anybody else who was around during that time. The women's revolution of itself, the great women's wrestlers that were around there during the day, and Mickie James was one of them. And since she has come back, since we saw her come back during that cage match with Alexa Bliss, she has been on fire. I am absolutely hyped up to see where this goes. I don't see Becky Lynch picking up the win here. I see Mickie James coming out on top during this match, possibly setting up something for WrestleMania, which isn't too far off, right after Elimination Chamber. That is your first women's match of the night of 3. The second match will have Nikki Bella and Natalya. These guys have been on fire as of late. Now, for me, some of the stuff has been a little weird. I think some of the promo has been a little too scripted, but I think now that they're finally going to get their hands on each other and have a match, it's going to be good. And a lot of the stuff, they're intertwining things. They're going through and intertwining, they're intertwining Total Bellas, Total Divas, stuff that's going on in real life. They're intertwining all of it into this match and bringing us something that we want to see in the ring. There's real life heat going on here. Even though, we watch Total Bellas and we see that Natalya is the nicest person in the world, but she can bring on the total raging catfight woman that we want to see here on WWE. She's playing a great heel, probably the best stuff she's done in her entire tenure in the WWE. Nikki Bella, she's doing great on her own. She doesn't have to have her sister Brie in there to have her back, do twin magic, whatever they've got to do to get a win, that kind of thing. She seems to be doing pretty good, and this seems to be moving through, the whole... Nikki Bella, we know, is going to be the executive producer of Total Divas, so maybe she's moving out of a wrestling role. This could be one of her last matches in a WWE ring for a while, and this might be a way to move into WrestleMania, get her with John Cena. We've heard rumors of that happening with The Miz and Maurice in a mixed tag match. Who knows what's going to happen? We'll have to see come there. But I see Nikki getting the win on this one. Just absolutely stomping out Natalya, getting a win. And then from there, Natalya goes crazy. That's where I see that going. Natalya gets the loss, goes crazy, goes on a rampage through the women's division on SmackDown. It could definitely get some good stuff going. She might end up in a program with Naomi after that. We'll get into what's going on with Naomi a little bit later, but that's where I see that going. We move on. The next match, of course, tag team action. We have tag team turmoil once again on SmackDown. If you don't remember, we had tag team turmoil a few months ago. That's how American Alpha got their shot at becoming the number one contender for the belts. That's where they ended up winning, picking up the belts, things like that. And they're going through it once again. They issued an open challenge and everybody answered. It was a huge, huge brawl. Everybody came on out and Daniel Bryan decided, you know what? We're going to do tag team turmoil once again. If everybody wants it that bad, we're going to have American Alpha go through tag team turmoil, going up against Breezango, the Usos, the Vaudevillains, Rhino and Slater, and the Ascension. And just this past Tuesday, the Ascension in a 6-on-6 tag team match picked up a surprise win. We might see a change in the tag team champions. However, I don't think so. I think American Alpha makes their way through tag team turmoil, gets the win on this, and remains your champion, with the Ascension possibly being the ones to go after the belts next at WrestleMania on the SmackDown brand. I want to know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. Now, the match that might steal the night. We got Luke Harper, Randy Orton. This is a match that a lot of people thought was going to be a WrestleMania match. And I said for a long time, it's not, that's where I wanted it. I wanted it to be a WrestleMania match, but they're pulling the trigger a little earlier and they're giving it to us at Elimination Chamber. Luke Harper has been amazing. He has got great promo skills. He has amazing in-ring ability as well. He has broken off from the Wyatt family. He is upset and pissed off that Bray Wyatt has sided with Randy Orton, the snake in the grass in the Wyatt family, the man who is tearing it apart from the inside, according to Luke Harper. Attacked Bray Wyatt on Tuesday night, went to attack Randy Orton as well. This is going to be a good match. This could be match of the night for the Elimination Chamber. More than the tag team turmoil, more than the women's matches that we've got going on, and more than the Elimination Chamber itself, which I still think is going to have a great ending to it. We'll get into that in just a moment. But Harper and Orton is going to be a straight up brawl. I don't think Bray Wyatt is going to be ringside for this one. He's got an Elimination Chamber match later on in the night in the main event. So this could be very well something that you've got two guys in the ring, but I expect some interference in the name of Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan has been training at the Performance Center recently. As I said, there's been some vignettes that he put out on his own Twitter that said he's coming back and he's coming back soon. And what better time than to come back now, align himself with Luke Harper and help him get the win and try to get the Wyatt family, as we used to know it, back together and get Randy Orton out of there altogether. I think Randy Orton's going to pick up the win here. Even though he doesn't need it, he's going into WrestleMania as the number one contender, going up against the winner of Elimination Chamber, whoever is the champion there. But I still think Randy Orton's going to get the win. I wish Luke Harper would get it, but I'm going with Randy Orton. Your women's title match up next, we've got Alexa Bliss going up against Naomi for whatever reason other than Naomi's healthy again and we got something to do. She even made fun of Naomi this past Tuesday at the double contract signing that the women had. The women had a double contract signing. Alexa Bliss was like, oh, Naomi's here too. I almost forgot about you. We almost all forgot about Naomi. Alexa Bliss comes out with the win here. Very little build to this match. I'm not even sure why we're having it, other than the fact that they're doing something with all their women on SmackDown, which is much better than they do with Raw right now. The last match of the night, of course, is going to be the Elimination Chamber. Champion John Cena going up against AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin, and The Miz. We don't even know what entrance spots are going to be. Is it going to start out with John Cena in the ring and AJ Styles? Are we going to see Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt maybe kicking it off? Maybe Baron Corbin and The Miz are in the ring together. We don't know until the night itself of what the entrant is going to be, who's going to start the match, who's going to be in the pods. This match itself, in the 15 years now that it's been around since Survivor Series debut, I think it was 2002, holy cow. Elimination Chamber has given us some great moments. RVD jumping off the top of a pod, people jumping through pods, pod doors not opening, Triple H getting his wrist almost broken, his larynx crushed. Lots of stuff can happen in the Elimination Chamber. And I don't think that this is going to be any different. Coming out the winner, I'm still going with Bray Wyatt. It's the only thing that makes sense going into WrestleMania. Randy Orton against Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship. There have been interviews out there where Randy Orton has said he will do anything possible to get Bray Wyatt over. That's how highly he thinks of him. What better way than to go on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania this year and put him over? Lay down, take the pin after a hell of a match, and Bray Wyatt gets his WrestleMania moment after many long years. Now, Bray Wyatt has only held one other belt in the WWE, and that was the tag team belt, when Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt won it off of Slater and Rhino, and then lost it through tag team turmoil to the American Alpha. This was probably one of the greatest moments for Bray Wyatt. And then, of course, losing the belts to American Alpha. Bray Wyatt never lost the belt. They went Freebird rules. It was Luke Harper and Randy Orton in there. So Bray Wyatt's never lost a title. I want to see him go into WrestleMania as the champ. I want to see him go up against Randy Orton and have a hell of a match. Hell of a match at the Elimination Chamber. That is where I see things going. We're looking at Dolph Ziggler with a DQ at the opening match. I see Becky Lynch taking the loss. Nikki Bella coming out on top. Natalya going crazy afterwards. Tag team match, American Alpha still retains. Ascension very close behind. They will probably be the next number one contender through all of that, which is good. Luke Harper, as much as I want him to win, I don't see it happening. I see Randy Orton picking up the win here. Possible surprise by Eric Rowan coming back. Alexa Bliss retaining the WWE Women's Championship, and Bray Wyatt with the win in the Elimination Chamber. That is what we've got for our predictions right now. Let's get back to what I like to do every episode of the 414, and that is, of course, this day in wrestling history. And this day in wrestling history was not, in particular, a good one. We're only gonna go off of one thing. I pulled this off of Cage Side Seats. They have probably one of the best repositories of this day in wrestling history. But this day in wrestling history, 14 years ago. 14 years ago was not a good day. February 10th, 14 years ago, in Tampa, Florida, Curtis Michael Hennig was found dead in his hotel room in Tampa, Florida. He was 44 years old. Mr. Perfect died 14 years ago today. Born in Robbinsdale, Minnesota on March 28th, 1958, Curt Hennig started his career in the AWA, that was the territory here in Wisconsin as well, as Cool Curt Hennig, following in his father Larry's footsteps. And then 2 years into it, he left for the WWF and teamed with Eddie Gilbert there. In 1984, he went back to the AWA and then won the AWA tag team titles with Scott Hall, of all people. We've got that going on. He did return to the WWF in 1998 as Mr. Perfect. That is when Mr. Perfect debuted. He was the arrogant athlete. If you watch, shows like Dude Perfect on YouTube, that's pretty much where they got it from. Mr. Perfect could do no wrong. He's throwing in, showing no-look shots in basketball, throwing himself his own Hail Mary, hitting home runs, scoring 300 in bowling, all that kind of stuff. He was Mr. Perfect and he was great. There were a lot of cameos going on in there. We had Wade Boggs in there. Mike Modano was in there for the cameos, which was good. And Hennig was great. He was perfect for an entire year. He was referred to on TV as Mr. Perfect. Only occasionally referring to the family history going on there. And it was during that time he paired with Lanny Poffo, the genius, which was good. First major feud came with Hulk Hogan over the WWF Championship. During that feud, Mr. Perfect beat Hulk Hogan via count out and then post-match destroyed the belt, which was great. Mr. Perfect was the last man eliminated in the 1990 Royal Rumble, which was won by Hulk Hogan. And then a few months later at WrestleMania, Mr. Perfect suffered his first televised loss. It says in reality that actually came at the hands of the Ultimate Warrior, though that match did not air until after the event. So a little bit crazy stuff going on there. Mr. Perfect was probably one of my favorites. I loved watching him in the ring. He was a great guy. Great guy to see out there. It's horrible the way he died. He was found, as I said, in his hotel room in Tampa. They said that it was determined by the Hillsborough County Medical Examiner's Office that an acute cocaine intoxication was to be the cause of death. Kurt's father, Larry, said that steroids and painkillers may have also come into play as part of the death. And, you know, he was survived by his parents, Larry and Irene, his two brothers, Randy and Jesse, two sisters, Sarah, Susan, his wife as well, and then their four children, Joe, Hank, Amy, and Katie. Two of the children are in professional wrestling. Joe is known as Curtis Axel, and he won the WWE Intercontinental Championship at Payback in 2013. They were the first father and son duo to win the IC belts. He was also inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in March 2007, and then in July of 2007 into the George Tragos Luthez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. A biographical DVD, The Life and Times of Mr. Perfect, was released in September 2008. Like I said, today was not a good day in wrestling history for the WWE. That's all we've got from the 414. As I said, I want to see a thumbs up on this video. We're going to have these things for you every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, along with the pay-per-view reviews for Elimination Chamber, Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night SmackDown, and every pay-per-view that we've got after that. If you feel like donating to the 414, keeping things going up like production costs that we've got going on around here, the link to the Patreon is down below. I am accepting, once again, Patreon donations to the 414. Link is in the description. If you feel more happy to do a one-time donation, there is a Streamlabs link as well in the description of this video. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you guys think of today's video. There's going to be a poll up in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to see a little eye flash on the screen. I want you to take a poll. Let me know what you think of the set, what you think of the programming, what you thought of the video itself. Until next time, this is Rusty for the 414. I'm out of here. Have a great weekend, guys.
To the last defender. They